I got to go to Farm Aid 2000 to fulfill a lifelong dream to sing among some of my heroes like Willie Nelson and Neil Young. But the musical highlight for me was being asked to sing Pink Houses with John Mellencamp.
Ladies and gentlemen, great games.
Singing was great, but the most profound thing for me that weekend was getting to meet actual farmers and hear firsthand of their plight.
Well, I'm a farmer from Illinois, and I'm here to work on the GMO issue and attend the concert and speak out for family farms.
We're part of the Grace Factory Farm Project, which is to fight corporate agriculture and factory farms and promote sustainable agriculture and the family farmer.
We're just supporters.
Powder River Basin Resource Council.
Represent African American farmers from the South, and we're here to support Farm Aid and what it has done over the years to assist African American farmers to stay on the land.
I met with one of Farm Aid's founders, Willie Nelson.
He's been eliminated. It's a concentrated effort. These people are being forced off the land by intentionally dropping prices so much if they couldn't make it.
We farm 560 acres in west central Iowa. We raise corn and soybeans, and we try to not raise genetically modified crops.
If he's allowed to, he will grow food that him and his family can eat, and he'll grow it on land where the water is pure. But corporate farming could care less about those things.
We are getting for our commodities, and wheat is what I'm talking about now, about what we got in the 1950s.
See, of all the occupations in this country, family farmers are facing the greatest decline. Two of the biggest issues I kept hearing about at this event were genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, and a pending lawsuit against chemical giant Monsanto, who brought us Agent Orange and PCBs and who are now manufacturing a growth hormone called Posilac that they're selling to dairy farmers that is in our milk right now. We talked to Rhonda Perry, a hog farmer from Missouri.
The U.S. government has taken an extremely active role in pushing GMO products internationally, and it hasn't worked. Certainly there is a concern in this country that there is far too much corporate control of our government policies, and this is a prime example of that. No one benefits from GMO crops. Consumers don't get any conceivable benefit from these crops. Farmers certainly have not seen any benefit from them. It's increased our production, increased pesticide use, decreased yields, made consumers question the food supply. The only people who truly have benefited are the people who own the patents on these products. I mean, I don't think we know what it's going to mean for consumers yet. There has not been any long-term testing done on the health impacts of GMOs. It's created real problems in dairy herds with mastitis, with inhumane treatment of animals, with deformities of calves. There have been serious concerns about that issue, and clearly the people who benefited from BGH being on the market was Monsanto. Consumers are purchasing major amounts of GMO products. They don't know that they are. And I think if they had the choice, they would choose not to purchase GMO products. That's how our food supply is being run, by who can get in the most corporate profit the fastest. And I don't think any of us think that that's the right way to go about it.
I am an attorney representing farmers in a class action case against Monsanto. There's a claim that Monsanto fixed the price of genetically modified seeds by assessing a technology fee. Also that they launched the seeds without adequately testing them for environmental safety, for human health safety, and launched them knowing that there was not approval in export markets, and that cost farmers a lot of money when they couldn't sell their crops. And then it also seeks to represent a class of international farmers, because obviously GMOs do not respect boundaries. If your farm borders on a farm in Canada, that stuff's going to drift over the border whether the border's there or not. No one other than Monsanto scientists has really had very much of an opportunity to test this stuff. When Monsanto sells it, they sell it under contracts that say you can't give it away for research. So really a lot of farmers have not had the opportunity to know whether or not the stuff they're planting is safe for the environment or safe for people or safe for animals.
These conglomerates are so strong they can crush these farms, 500 a week, and they've been doing it for 15 years. So if you think there's nothing you can do, you're wrong.
be held hostage by the agribusiness conglomerates who will want to irradiate our food and do all kinds of things to it that we don't understand yet. We'd rather have a choice, since this is America, we'd rather have the choice between food that's grown by real people on real farms, real working people, and that who care for the land. We'd like to have that choice.
I want to say that I think the farmers can call this election. I can't tell you who to vote for, but it's not hard to figure out.
Peggy Naylor farms corn and soybeans in Iowa.
One reason that my husband and I are plaintiffs on this lawsuit is that we believe it's morally wrong to cross species like that. It's not something that would normally occur in nature, even over billions of years. This would not occur that a flounder would mate with a tomato.
Can you just quickly define some of the things what BT crops are?
What they did was they took the genes from bacteria and they put it into the corn plant, and that particular bacteria is toxic to the European corn borer. So when the corn borer starts to eat the corn plant, supposedly it would die because of this toxic substance. However, there's also these unknowns. What else is it toxic to? Now, there has been research that it's also toxic to monarch butterflies. Where we are, it's black, it's really good soil, and part of the reason it's really good is, the organic materials, the earthworms that are doing their job in it. And you have to have a concern that every part of this corn plant has that bacteria in it. And so that bacteria is actually in the soil from the plant growing in the soil. And we don't know when it goes away, if ever. And we don't know what all it does affect. Don't feel that people appreciate where their food comes from, and that it is important that family farms produce it rather than factory farms. We have this factory farm style of producing our chickens, our turkeys, our pigs, and then feedlots for our cattle where it's inhumane. The smell and the sewage lagoons that always seem to break open and spill and kill the fish in our streams and contaminate our groundwater and all of that. And then the industrialization of agriculture, they tell us that you have to plant corn and soybeans because those are the crops that you'll be able to make it, make money, break even. And so it's not encouraging diversification of trying different crops, that actually we could do more of a rotation that would be better for the land. All of those decisions that farmers would normally make because they believe it's good and right, they can't because they're just struggling to survive.
When I was younger, they said, boy, you're gonna be president, just like everything else. Those are crazy days, kinda came to win. Oh, but ain't that America, you and me? Ain't that America, there's something to see, baby. Ain't that America, all of the free, yeah. We'll be